Tonight is Christmas Eve, and I have to cook without meat. Stuffed peppers, stuffed cabbage leaves and beans. That's the tradition. The dishes have to be meatless. 5, 7 or 9 of them. We mainly cook stuffed peppers with some onion and a lot of leeks and rice. I've prepared the peppers here. I've washed the rice and the onions are almost ready. I'm crushing them gently with my hand. The rice, a bit of cooking oil, and now I'll add the seasoning. Savoury. I'll add a bit of salt to make it easier to rub the rice in, because the rice helps to soften the onions. I start with my hands. That's how we do it. My hands are clean. Again with my hands, I'm starting to stuff the peppers. I'm squeezing them lightly, not much, because the rice is still raw and the pepper could split. So I squeeze the opening a bit like this. Then I'm going to lay them out in the saucepan. And now the stuffed peppers. I'm going to make them with cabbage leaves. They used to call them gushki or piltsi. Now they call them sarmichki. Again, you make them with your hands. I get hold of a handful, and now I'm folding them and rolling them up lightly until they look a bit like swaddled babies. They're laid out in the saucepan, and you have to add some cooking oil on top to make the peppers nice and shiny. Here's a plate to push them down. Put the lid on, add a bit of water, and I'll bring it to the boil. A nice tradition on Clean Monday in our part of the world is to make stuffed pancakes. We make these stuffed pancakes with 1 or 2 eggs, flour, some milk and water, and we knead it into a soft dough. Now I'll add a bit more water to make it like a thick goo and start baking the pancakes. To do that, we need a hot plate. They used to call it a sajik. The sajik is made of clay, a bit like a shallow baking dish. You put it on the heat. It has to be very hot, and you always have to have some bacon fat to hand. Here's the bacon fat. It's salty. We stick a fork in it and smear the plate with it so the pancakes don't stick. And the bacon fat makes them really tasty. When the plate gets really hot, I pour a ladleful of the mixture onto it, spread it evenly and wait for it to bake. You eat them with cheese or some kind of jam or honey. Children love it when we make pancakes. They all gather round Granny. The oldest grandchild gets the first pancake. He runs around the garden, then the next one, and so on. It's ready now. Turn it over gently. There we are. Beans are a traditional meal in these parts. There are various types of beans, but we like one sort for our traditions and celebrations. These big beans. We call them Bambal fasul. They grow nicely in these parts and they're very tasty, delicious. First we boil them. We boil them in a pan or a pot. Anything really. Once we've boiled them, we make a sauce with some onions, cooking oil, red pepper and some flour. We put it in a saucepan or a baking dish. Then we put some rice on top and pour water over it. We sprinkle some savoury on top because savoury is nice with beans, and usually we like to put some onion rings on it. Cut some tomatoes into slices, tomato rings, onion rings, and that's how we bake the beans. It's really tasty, delicious, but it's tastiest when you cook it with a lot of tender, loving care.